framing around the idea of accountability. If you're not sure why you should care about cybersecurity at all, you as a business leader are actually accountable in many ways. Some of this accountability stems from laws and regulations, particularly around privacy. If you're dealing with electronic information that could be privacy related, so in Canada at a federal level, there is the PIPEDA, Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act. There are also some provincial regulations as well. So in British Columbia, the Personal Information Protection Act. Many of these laws are also cross-border. So if you are collecting or processing or handling data that belongs to an EU citizen, there's a really good chance that the EU GDPR or General Data Protection Regulation will also create some legal liability for your organization to implement proper cybersecurity because you're handling that sensitive data. Accountability may stem also from contractual obligations, depending on what your customers or third parties, business partners, customers, third-party suppliers may all have contract obligations which create some obligation for you to implement security. You may need to implement encryption, for example, to safeguard data. You may need to implement backup and recovery procedures to make sure that you can continue to serve your customers or serve your business partners, even if something goes amiss. All of these tie into a legal concept known as due diligence. Closely related term is due care. Simple way to explain this is basically you as a business must demonstrate that you are doing something to address these obligations, whether it's a legal or a contractual obligation. You are accountable to actually do something like safeguarding data, like implementing policies, procedures, and information systems in a secure manner. One important thing to note, you as a business leader ultimately are accountable. As I mentioned earlier, responsibility may be delegated. So you may have members of staff responsible for various pieces of security. IT operations is frequently going to have some delegated role. You may have legal advisors. Most challenging of all, your end users, the people in your company who are doing things, who are processing data on a daily basis, who are basically the engine that drives your business, they also have responsibility because they touch this data, they access it, they interact with these computer systems on a daily basis. They need to make sure they're following things like security policies and procedures during those day-to-day interactions. So responsibility is really spread across the entire organization.